Disclaimer: the insights and opinions shared on this show are for educational and entertainment purposes only. Before making any financial decisions, we recommend consulting with a qualified professional to better understand your unique financial situation. Welcome to the Investors Playbook Show, where our mission is clear: empowerment through financial education. We firmly believe that financial freedom isn't a privilege, it's a right that's available to everybody. Each week, we dive deep into the world of finances, breaking down complex topics and making them accessible and actionable for everyone. As we grow this community, we invite you to join us on this journey. Why tune in? Because together, we're not just learning about wealth, we're building a movement, reshaping futures, and proving that with the right knowledge, financial success is within everyone's reach. It's time to get off the sidelines. Let's go.
Welcome to Investors Playbook, episode 34. I'm Cornell Rowan.
And I'm Deshaun Edwards. Man, how you feeling, Cornell?
I'm feeling great, man. I'm feeling great, especially after this weekend, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree. So if y'all don't know, we had a event yesterday that we attended. We went to the Conyers Book Festival. We went to the 2024 Conyers Book Festival and we promoted our book. And I would say that the event went quite well. Conversations that we had with people was, informative, not just for us, but also for them. People came and learned about investing. They grew their knowledge of investing. And ultimately, we made a ton of connections, bro. Like that, I think, was the biggest highlight. But how are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling like, just first and foremost, this is why I love Conyers, just because of the amount of support these events get. Even though Conyers is a small city that's way east of Atlanta.
Right.
I'm talking about when you have like these food festivals, these book festivals and things like that, or just vendor festivals, people show up.
Yeah.
And it's not just people from Conyers, it's people from all Metro Atlanta. You get people from all over that show up to these things. So it was pretty cool, and to be able to bring what we have, our passion in financial literacy, and also display our book was I really enjoyed that time speaking to the people, also seeing the knowledge that a lot of these people have, because we learned some things at this event also. So really just the whole event as a whole was really dope.
Yeah. I mean, we just have to agree with you. I think being back home, right? Well, I'm not from Conyers, but definitely being from Georgia, it felt good to be back here and being able to promote, again, something that we care deeply about to people that love to support it, right? I mean, the Conyers Book Fair, the purpose of it is for people to promote their product. And during that book fair, we had a lot of conversations about people who are interested in getting started with investing, or with getting their money, right, or their finances done correctly. And then also we met people who had started their journey, right, and who wanted to learn more about investing, who wanted to learn more about how to manage their money, and just asking questions like if what they were doing is correct, or how could they change it, or how could they grow it faster, or any type of changes that they need to make when it comes to their finances. So having those conversations with the people was great. Being able to give them knowledge, like on the spot, telling them, hey, look, you should try and do this, or look into this, because it sounds like you could probably be allocating your money this way. I remember there was one conversation we was having, and this lady literally said, yeah, I keep my money in an envelope. Like, that's where she keeps her money, like literally sealed up in an envelope. So that already is just like, yeah, we definitely want to promote financial literacy, financial education, and that book fair definitely allowed us to do that. So shout out to Conyers for creating that space to allow Investors Playbook to promote the book and just talk to the people of Conyers about financial literacy.
And also, not just, kudos to Conyers, kudos to the bookseller, the people who put on the festival. But really, I want to speak on the people that were there, the vendors. They were all authors, which is really dope in a lot of ways, because just starting from what it takes to be an author. This means that you have an idea, a passion, or something of the sort that you wanted to put on paper and share with the world. And what that takes is, first and foremost, dedication. Because it takes a lot to sit there and write something, even if it's something you're passionate about. Putting time and work into it for days, weeks, years on time. There was somebody that told me they were working on their piece for 10 years.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So this is something that people put a lot of time into, and they're sharing their voice, their past experiences, whatever their message with the people.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that I did realize is that we all have information. And someone said that at the book fest. Like, everybody has stories to tell. Everybody has information to share. We just need to get it out of our head, put it on paper so that, you know, we can become a resource for other people. People talked about not gatekeeping, right?
Yes.
Like, not holding on to the information and instead sharing it and allowing people to, you know, take what you learned and apply it to their life. So there was definitely a lot, and it was vast too. It wasn't just, you know, a specific subject. You had other people who had financial literacy. You had a lot of STEM books, a ton of people like with children's books, which, you know, I love that, seeing people who were promoting reading for kids. I think that was amazing. And you had people even doing novels, right? Writing their own novels, having their own characters. It was just an amazing event with a lot of different ideas all in one place. So I thoroughly enjoyed the book fair. And I think even just not just sitting there and talking to the people from behind our booth, but like you said, walking around and seeing their booth, seeing what their project was, seeing what they had been working on, was just super interesting to me. And I copped a couple books yesterday myself, to be honest with you, yeah.
And I bought one also. The one was speaking a lot of positivity into me. And as you were saying, like, this wasn't just about us giving a message of financial literacy to the people. We actually learned a lot. Also, there were people that were very knowledgeable on different subjects. We met a financial consultant.
Yeah.
We met a mortgage
lender. Yeah.
We met the Board of Education. I mean, somebody that's on the Board of Education in Rockdale. We met, it was some very influential people, and the thing is, they really liked what we were doing, and they were saying, man, this is needed. Definitely. We need to get this into our schools here in Rockdale. We need to talk to the youth. We need to come talk in this church. Right. So the message was well received. People respected what we were doing, and I feel like when they were speaking to us, they saw that we were very knowledgeable. And that's what prompted them to ask us to come to these certain things. So definitely expect several collaborations with the people that we met there, because, you know, as I said, we found a lot of knowledgeable people there that are more experienced in their fields than what we would be. So, of course, we want to get the best information for you all. So what better way than to collaborate with those people and bring them on the podcast?
Absolutely. So, yeah, a lot more special guests from this point on. I mean, we've had a few guests on our show talk about different topics, so we're just going to keep going down that track. We met some amazing people, and we want those people's information we want the people that have that information to be shared with our community, for sure. But all right, well, let's also talk about drawbacks, which I don't think there were many. I think ultimately it was a pretty positive experience, very right? Positive. Yeah, I can't, as I even said it, I'm trying to think, I don't think that we really have a ton of negatives at all. And in regards to just the experience overall, I think it was great.
It was very great. I think the one thing that I would, when people come to the booth, it's just a matter of knowing exactly what you want them to look at with your business. Yeah,
you're right. You're
don't give them too many choices, because you don't want it's going to look real confusing. Yeah, in your head, you know that this is this, that's that, and whatever that is that, but it's like you're just shooting a bunch of information at somebody in a span of 3 minutes, and they're like, I don't know what to do. So I think the most important thing is you gotta know exactly where to direct them, and then from there, that's where you need to catch whatever it is. That's where you need to catch their attention and draw them into the other aspects of your business.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that one. We had a lot of QR codes on our table, a couple of action items for people, but multiple action items for people. So, yeah, I would agree with you. If you've ever done a vending event before, if you intend on doing a vending event, I would just say, yeah, make sure that you know what your priority is when people are coming to your booth. Because if you ask them to do all these different things, they might feel overwhelmed and end up doing nothing. Or the one thing that you really want them to do, they might miss because you've asked them to also do this and, follow here and subscribe there. So just make sure that you know what you want the audience to see when they come to your booth. What you want them to take away. Whether it's you selling a book, you selling a product, you getting them to join your community, you getting them to subscribe to your YouTube, whatever the case may be. Just make that be the task, right? And if the conversation evolves from there, then sure, you can talk about Instagram, you can talk about, TikTok, whatever the case may be, but always have just this is what I want people to do and see when they come to my booth. Yeah, because that's something that we definitely that's something that we're gonna have to work on and figure out how we want people to, complete the action when they do come to the booth. Yeah.
And speaking on that, I feel like it's important to be reflective. Mm-hmm. I met a lot of people that were like, man, but I don't really have this, but man, you got that, and I'm like, hey, we all learning. You see what I'm saying? Because like when I see somebody that's doing something wild over there, I know that theirs isn't going to be perfect, but the thing is, even if somebody's further, I'm going to look at theirs and I'm going to say, man, like, what can I learn from this person? You see what I'm saying? Like, let me see what they have going on. Because, yeah, it doesn't have to be a competition. We can share information. There was this woman there. I forgot her name. I know last name was Graham. But she was telling me, hey, and she just came out the blue. She was like, hey, how you doing? So guess what I do with my book? Mm-hmm. And she said, I put it into a library and I got sales off of it being in a library. Yep. And all I did was fill out this form and you go to this website to do it. And I didn't even ask for the information.
Right. She just was not gatekeeping. She was sharing.
That's what I'm saying.
Knowledge, yeah.
I feel like sharing that information doesn't hurt you. Like me putting my book in the library isn't taking anything from her.
Mm-hmm. At all. Yeah, and that's the key though, right? Like it's not a competition at a book fair or any vending event. You all can just learn from each other. And we do that. We've attended vending events as not vendors and saw what other people were doing. We were like, that's a good idea. Maybe we should implement that the next time we have a table. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's all a learning experience, man. We don't have to step on each other's toes. We don't got to drag each other down. It's really just about bringing each other up. And a lot of that happened. Like it just felt real, like a big community yesterday. Everyone was just supporting each other. I had nothing but positive things to say about that. And I think one of the more positive experiences for me was like actually helping people in real time. Mm-hmm. That was huge. People coming up to the booth and saying, like I mentioned, the lady who said, I'm putting money in my envelope and I don't really know what to do with it. Us explaining how inflation is making her money that's sitting in the envelope worth less. She thinks it's still like worth that same dollar. The reality is, as things get more expensive, that same dollar that's in the envelope and has been there for, 10 years, now you need 2 of those dollars to buy the same thing. So you have to, make your money work for you. And that's the conversation that we have with people at the table. And that, again, was just a great experience for me because you're showing people in real time. This isn't take the book, go home and read it, watch our YouTube. It's like right now, we're explaining to you why what you're doing could be done better. So lots of those conversations happened as well.
All right. Mm-hmm. And with us being Investors Playbook, I feel like what we also need to bring up, we were there with a lot of authors. And what authors have they have intellectual property. So these things that they're making, these books that they're creating and putting and publishing and sending out to the world, this is actually a form that could of passive income. So with this, you get royalties from every book that's purchased from wherever you're selling it. Some people like to print their own books out and go out into the world and sell them. That of course you can make more money doing that, but you don't have to do that. There are platforms like Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Apple Books, where you can put your book and you can run ads. And sometimes you don't even need to run ads. If your book has great enough reviews, it'll sell itself. And you're gathering royalties from these books. Yeah, it takes a while to pay out, but once you get them going, once you get the royalty checks coming, it's pretty consistent. Right. So I encourage people, if you have a message or a passion or something of the sort, put it into some intellectual property and share your message with the world, because it can be profitable. But of course, what you put in is what you get out.
Exactly. Yeah. And we talk about that in our book as well, right? Like true forms of passive income. And a book, things like a course, anything that you created one time and just hit play, all those things, like you mentioned, intellectual property. Once it's out there, it just becomes something that can generate revenue without you needing to necessarily do more work. Unless you want to make changes to your course or changes to your book, it's not much you have to do once it's out there, right? Of course, you have to market it. And like you said, sometimes you might not even have to. If the book sells, then you don't have to market it. It'll just market itself. But yeah, true forms of passive income. And like I mentioned earlier, we all have a story. Everybody has some information that could benefit someone else, right? And yeah, just pushing that out there, pushing the idea that whatever your story is can be written, can be a positive impact on someone else's life. I think that was definitely one of the takeaways from yesterday too. So yeah, being a business owner, investing in yourself, creating some intellectual property, all these things, other ways to generate money, right? So
and making connections, that's important. Building community, because I feel like that was the most powerful part about yesterday, and I feel like this was probably like one of the best events when it comes to that, was with connecting with people. Yeah, I feel like this was very powerful, and it's not just it was cool talking to the people that were just coming through, but man, talking to the other business minded people, those vendors, I feel like that's where you get like the best information. So yeah, we're not here trying to compete with anybody. We are just trying to learn and be a strong community.
Everybody can eat, man. It's enough food for everybody to eat. So
yeah, so we just wanted to debrief about our journey and our experience with this book festival. This was actually our first book fair or festival that we've ever attended, and yeah, it went really well.
definitely. Yeah. Nothing but positive things to say. Looking forward to the next one, whenever that will be.
For sure.
Yeah, whenever that will be.
It's an annual thing.
Right.
So yeah, next year I'm back in the thing. It's right down the street. So
right.
For sure.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back next year, Conyers, for sure. So but as always, you can find us on all social media platforms at Investors Playbook LLC. You can check out our website, www.investorsplaybookllc.com. And of course, you could, look at the book. Look at purchasing the book. It's on Amazon. We have the ebook. We have the...
Matter of fact, if you're just now starting your financial journey, I feel like this book is a necessity. I'm gonna be honest, because this will really, it implements all the core steps of what you need to be doing in your financial journey, and it will get you started. Yeah. So check it out. But yeah, it's on Amazon.
Yep.
It has the ebook, the audio book, and the paperback physical book. So yeah, check it out. It can change your life for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, as always, we love you. We love the support. Thank y'all.
Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Bet.